Let's give away some takeaways from last night's heartbreaking loss. Your Spurs losing to the Kings, and then bringing a very special guest.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, this is Hot Rod.
And I'm RC from the Cybertronic Spurs.
And you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
Hey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. TGIF, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great end of the work week. We'll get you through it right here on Locked On Spurs. Today's episode was brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs that help you find qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So what are we talking about today? We look back at last night's Spurs loss to the Kings on the road in their gym. Yeah, heartbreaking loss. We're going to give some takeaways from that game just real quick. They're going to bring in our very special guest, Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai. Yeah, the judge. San Antonio Judge, the landlord of the Spurs Frost Bank Center Arena. Yes, he is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. We're going to be discussing all things silver and black. What he had to say about, remember those whole, you're moving out of San Antonio rumors and all that stuff. He'll talk about that and much more. Then we have a fun game with him too, where we pretend like we're in court and we present kind of orders that he needs to sign off on, and we'll see if he signs off on some silver and black theme orders. But that's coming up next. Hey, so so what a way to end the Friday, right, with a loss, like a heartbreaking loss in Sacramento. But it is what it is. Spurs, yeah, it was tough. Let's put it this way: I hadn't been investing in a game like that in a while until last night, losing to the Kings, 131-129. It was theirs. They were up by 5-6 points to close out that game. It was there, but a costly turnover at the end by Malachi Branham led to an easy dunk by Sabonis. It all but sealed the game for the Kings. So tough loss. And look, they did it. They could have won without Wemby. They're now 0-7 without him. Wemby didn't play. But let's just get into this because we definitely want to bring in our guest soon. But yeah, Spurs lost 131-129. Again, Wemby did not play due to injury. Malachi Branham had 23 points. Zach Collins 22. Devin Vassell 30, and Keldon Johnson had 22. The Spurs are now 13-50. The next visit the Golden State Warriors this Saturday night. All right, so what are we taking away from this game? Well, as much as it hurt, and it hurt. There were a lot of positives. Let's start off with multiple players in double figures. When you lose a Wemby, that's a big chunk of your offense right there. I mean, your main threat down below. And, credit to the Spurs. They had 5 players in double figures led by Devin Vassell with 30 points. Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins had 22 points. Malachi Branham had 23, a new season high. And then Blake Wesley added 11 points. So, they had help. It wasn't like it was just all on Devin Vassell. They again set 5 players in double figures scoring. They were fighting tooth and nail with the Kings down to the bitter end. Offense was not a struggle tonight. Sometimes their offense sputters, not last night versus Sacramento. So biggest takeaway is that their offense was going. They hit a drought early in that second quarter, or just in the second quarter, which leads me to takeaway number 2 is composure. The Spurs were down as much as double figures. I believe like 20 points. But they rallied to come back. They rallied and they actually took the lead. It was to the point where I thought they had it in the bag. I was like, okay, they got this. They just got to just maintain. But they had that composure to rally themselves out of the deficit. But leads to point number 3, takeaway number 3, they lost composure at the end. So just a bunch of silly mistakes at the end. The costly turnover. Popovich talked about it at the end of the game, saying that it was just a lot of young mental errors that costed them the game. The key one was that Malachi turnover. Not closing out on Malik Monk. When after De'Aaron Fox fouled out of the game, Monk hit pretty much one of the 2 key buckets for Sacramento to ice the game. Him and Sabonis. But yeah, so as much as the composure helped them overcome the double figure deficit, that lack of composure to close out the game reared its ugly head. Now, look, I know I give you 3 takeaways, but there were a lot of positives. Again, we mentioned the double figure scoring by multiple players. The Spurs did outshoot the Kings from the 3 line, 16 3-pointers made to Sacramento's 10, 47% from the field, from the 3 line, that is, for your Spurs. And assists. I mean, the Spurs had 39 assists. 39 assists. That was a really good part. They were sharing the ball. It was just those turnovers that really bit them in the rear. It was just, forcing things, again, mental errors. It's all it was. And look, you're proud of the team. They hung in there, without Wembayama. You could tell they wanted to win. You could see it was right there in their grasp. Blake Wesley still didn't look strong, despite the turnover at the end. Malachi had a good game. They had a great game, but their youth showed at the end. So yeah, it was just a tough loss. So as I said, they got to play the Warriors up next. So quick takeaways again: multiple players in double figure scoring. Yay, Spurs without Wemby. Composure to come back out of that deficit, but the lack of composure, point number 3, at the end of the game to pretty much seal the win for Sacramento. As mentioned, up next are the Warriors this Saturday. Hey, coming up next, we're going to have Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai. I know, right? I know. He is going to come on. We're going to be discussing pretty much the Spurs, the city, his fandom, and then we're having a fun game with them. We're going to pretend like we have orders for him to sign off as a judge. Will he grant those orders? Hey, I want to talk to you about eBay Motors. Look, our partners at eBay Motors have teamed up with Locked On Fantasy Basketball host Josh Lloyd to bring you some of the best fantasy picks each week, all season long. So whether you're prepping for a daily draft or scouting the waiver wire, every week we're going to provide you players that you need that are guaranteed to fit your roster. So let's see who Josh picked out for us this week on eBay's Guaranteed Fit Fantasy Picks of the Week. Why don't we go with a former San Antonio Spur, Kyle Anderson. With Karl Anthony Towns was a future uncertain after the injury he suffered, Anderson will see a larger role and will likely start. Just be aware that the Wolves play 2 games early next week. There you have it. Josh Lloyd from Fantasy Basketball is going to help you win your fantasy championship. And eBay Motors knows a championship team is about each player being the perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. Look, you have a dream ride. You have the memory of the car that you loved. You ever experienced trying to buy a part, for your car, and it's tough. Well, luckily for you, eBay Motors will make everything easy. So you want to keep your dream ride in tip-top shape, eBay Motors. You have the car that you love right now, eBay Motors. And if you're looking to buy parts for your car, eBay Motors. If you want to keep your car running smooth, looking cool, whatever it is, you want to go to eBay Motors. Need that cool upgrade? eBay Motors. So with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you can make sure that your ride stays running smoothly. Brake kits? Check. LED headlights? They got that. Roof racks? Check. Bumpers? Double check. Whatever your baby needs, eBay Motor has it. eBay Motors even has the eBay Guaranteed Fit. It's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Plus, at these prices, you're going to be burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive, ebaymotors.com. Once again, that's ebaymotors.com. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Emily Swallow, and you are listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
And we're now joined by a very special guest. That man on your screen right now, he is Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai, making his debut here on Locked On Spurs to talk all things silver and black. And later on, we're going to get his rulings. Is he going to order? Are orders going to be granted regarding some fun things about the Spurs? We're going to be discussing that and more. Judge, I want to thank you for taking time to join us here on Locked On Spurs, reaching out to the Spurs fan base, the Spurs community. We appreciate you taking some time out.
Thank you, Jeff. I look forward to this conversation. Obviously, I'm the county judge of Bexar County. I'm the CEO, in essence, of the county, and the Spurs are near and dear to the Bexar County because that's where they're playing their ball right now at the Frost Bank Center. And yes, I encourage all our fans to continue to support the Spurs, even though they're not having the best season.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the meat and bones in a few minutes, but I mean, your path to where you are now has run the gamut from the drug court to your work at UT, studying, to now being at that seat that you sit on now. Even your grandparents are highlighted at the Texas Institute of Culture. Can you
Right.
talk a little bit about your journey, and where you are now?
Well, I was born and raised in South Texas, born in the Rio Grande Valley, McAllen, Texas. Went to McAllen High School, so I'm a Valley guy. Obviously grew up in a Hispanic community, so the Hispanic culture is near and dear to me. My father was a farmer. My uncles were farmers. All my family members were farmers, so I'm a farm guy. So I know what it means to work at sunup and work to sundown. Obviously, my dad worked me so hard, I took off. And I went to school and started at what was then Pan American University in Edinburgh, and then transferred to UT Austin. Got my BA degree in political science. Fortunate to go to UT Law School, and graduated there. Came to San Antonio to work for the Bexar County District Attorney's Office as a prosecutor. Went into private practice. Got into being a part-time judge. Got to be a full-time judge, being the first children's court associate judge back in 1995, and then stepped up to run for the 225th District Court, a civil district court. But so with the district court, then in 2022, I stepped up to run for county judge, and now as county judge, I'm the CEO of Bexar County. So I'm in charge of a $3 billion budget. But more importantly, I say that I am the Spurs landlord, because the Frost Bank Center is owned by Bexar County.
Yeah. My rent check's in the mail, Judge. So don't worry. Okay,
All right.
Okay. We're good. Judge, by the way, before we continue, sorry for all the nerd vomit you see behind me right now, everywhere. So pardon me. I don't know if you know this, but when San Antonio, well, not the city, but when there's Comic-Cons, conventions and throughout San Antonio, I'm usually tapped by the organizers to host the event. So
super cool.
So I'm keeping on brand. Two, I judge. I really believe San Antonio should have a geek ambassador. If they do have that, I want to throw my name in the hat. I want to throw my name in.
You'll be first in line, Jeff.
Appreciate it. By the way, and I think what a lot of Spurs fans are going to appreciate is seeing community leaders like yourself join this show to talk about all things silver and black. Because let's face it, Judge. I mean, the Spurs. I mean, they are part of the fabric of the community here in San Antonio, from the murals to offices sometimes letting their employees wear Spurs gears during game days. I mean, it is all about the Spurs and the community. They lean on one another. What have you seen the impact so far on the city, especially now in the Wembayama era, of the silver and black and the community and Wemby, even though it's a bad season?
Well, first of all, let's kind of set the stage, Jeff, and just say the Spurs are an integral part of Bexar County, the city of San Antonio. They are a corporate partner with Bexar County and the city of San Antonio, and they give back so much to the community in philanthropic support. And so that's the reason why Bexar County had stepped up back in 2002, 2005 to build the Spurs an arena. You might want to make sure that our fans know that we help support The Rock on La Cantera, which is a #1 super facility for the Spurs. We have made a clear commitment that we are committed to the Spurs. Obviously, there's always talk of them maybe moving somewhere. Yeah. But I've sat down with Peter John Holt. He's given me his word. We have shaken hands. They're not going anywhere. And with Wembayama, I tell you what, all we got to do is get a championship and the good times roll, Jeff. Let the good times roll.
Absolutely. Last week, I had the Spurs Vice President of Strategic Growth, Brandon James. He came on and he was talking about the Austin games that are just right around the corner, but just the impact that the Spurs are not only having in San Antonio, but across the region. The Spurs are making it very clear they want to be the South Texas up to about Austin on down to Mexico, that regional NBA team. And you're seeing it, Austin Spurs games, G League team playing in Corpus soon, playing in Laredo, Texas, Spurs going to Austin, so much mix together. Judge, that has to really help the Spurs, not only just remaining in San Antonio, but also just their growth as an NBA franchise.
You got it, Jeff. In my conversations with the Spurs and then as county judge, I have told the Spurs that their responsibility is not only to Bexar County, not only to this new Austin, San Antonio mega corridor the fans there, but to South Texas. If you know the G League, so to speak, down in Edinburgh, it's a Rockets-supported team. But I'm telling you, I have told the Spurs that the Spurs own South Texas.
There you go.
You go to a Spurs game, and I always run into my buddies from the Rio Grande Valley, from Laredo, and from Mexico. I have relatives in Mexico City, and they are Spurs fans. They love Tim Duncan. They love David Rob. Manu Ginobili is a god,
Forget about it.
The Spurs are such a valuable resource. I call them an economic generator. They bring business to the community. We're pro league. We're professional. We're big time because we have the San Antonio Spurs, and they have been 5-time world champs. And maybe not right now, Jeff, but the world championship is coming back. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and then you look at the past players from David Robinson to George Gervin to now, with Tim Duncan, Tony, and Manu. They still remain within the community. Look at Manu Ginobili. He was at the Rock to open up the public facility area. He's advocating for that. I believe, Judge, correct me if I'm wrong, there's like that crazy mile hike that they're trying to build between San Antonio and Austin. Correct. He's embedded in the city, helping that aspect of that. You see, Tim Duncan still just being active, in the community. David Robinson shows up to games, doing all he can for educational work in San Antonio. That's got to put a big smile on your face, Judge.
Oh, you got that right. David Robinson has given so much back with his Robinson Foundation. His kids, his adult kids now, are an integral part the fabric of Bexar County. Tony Parker, he's still in and out of Bexar County. He lives here. And then
he helps the zoo. I don't know if you know this. He donates his stuffed animal collection. Not kidding. A big stuffed animal collection to the zoo every Christmas so kids can go enjoy that.
And I hope the taxpayers of Bexar County understand that, so that when we want to financially support the Spurs, it's an investment we're making in with a valuable corporate partner. And they give so much back. They give back in the economic generation, the tourist dollars, the sales tax dollars, the revenues coming off the games. And then they give back just in philanthropic ways. They give time, talent, and treasure back to this community, and it's priceless. It is truly priceless.
Absolutely. I've been with the Spurs, at least for this season, as far as going to their community events. I didn't get to a lot because I was living out of town, living in New York. But now that I'm back in San Antonio, I've been, to Christmas tree giveaways for needy families on the city's south side. Speaking of south side, the renovated basketball court near South Cross, near Leal Middle School. And you fast forward, you got turkey giveaways that the players do on their own currently. For Keldon Johnson, he does that a lot. I mean, Keldon Johnson, look at him. He helped with the whole Keep the River Clean campaign. Part of that. So it's like this current Spurs squad. They're keeping that community-minded vision in mind. Judge, your thoughts? Hey, I want to talk to you about LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Look, when you're hiring for a small business, you want to find the quality professionals that are right for you, that'll just fit the right role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools that you need to help find you the right professionals for your team faster and for free. Look, so important to get those quality hires, right? You want to keep your business running smoothly. Look no further than LinkedIn Jobs. Now, LinkedIn isn't just another job posting board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. So it gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all the job for you. It makes the process so much easier and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality and qualified candidates to choose from. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get qualified candidates within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats, so you might not have the time or resources to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even have just launched a new feature that helps you write job descriptions and making the process even easier and quicker. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring, so should you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, I want to talk about Mudslinger's drive-through coffee. You want to go there right now? San Antonio, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, 281 to 1604 area. Go there right now. You need a latte? They got it. Cold brew? They got it. You need mini donuts? They got that too. You need a signature drink like the Mudslinger coffee? Go get that too, only at Mudslinger's drive-through coffee. Look, they're a proud local sponsor of Locked On Spurs, proud community member right here in San Antonio, and they love serving you coffee every single day, and they're open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Look, follow them on social media. Here's their handle, at Mudslinger SATX. Go to Threads, find them there. Facebook, find them there. TikTok, find them there. You get where I'm going. There's Instagram, yeah, all that good stuff at Mudslinger SATX. Look, they even have dairy alternatives. They have non-caffeinated drinks like the OG OJ. I recommend that one. But if you do need a kick, try the Red Bull Infused Lightning Bolt Series. Trust me, add some strawberry to that. You will enjoy it. 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive. Hey, go there right now. San Antonio, open every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get yourself that coffee. Get yourself the mini donuts. Go hang out with their friendly staff. Look at that menu. They got it all only at Mudslinger's drive-through coffee, 2404 Thousand Oaks Drive, open every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go there right now because life is too short for bland coffee.
No doubt, Jeff. You know, the Spurs continue to it's their culture. And, you know, you got to give credit to Coach Pop. Coach Pop not only does the X and O's on the basketball court, but he really ingrains into his basketball players a sense of duty, a sense of commitment, a sense of charity. He really gives a big picture to his basketball players, and that's the reason why they stick around. They see that this is such a great place to live, work, and play, and I just give kudos. I can't stop giving kudos to the San Antonio Spurs. But I got a question for you, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Are you in any way tied to that coyote? Are you the guy behind that facade there? Because you mentioned you're at all the Spurs functions.
Oh.
I haven't really seen you or met you, so I'm not. Are you really the man behind the coyote? Huh?
No.
That rumor.
No. I don't know if I'm that athletic as that guy underneath the suit. You know, that's my problem. I'm sitting down right now, so I'm covering all the stuff I need to work off right now. Wearing a lot of black right now too, Judge. So keep it look slim. But so I'd be able to witness that impact on the community firsthand. You know, to see the families, the way they react. You know, for the Christmas tree giveaways to the turkey giveaways, and the list goes on and on and on. But now with the Wemby era, it's like the international stage now is looking at San Antonio, obviously France, he's France, Louis Vuitton. I never thought in my life, Judge, I would see a Louis Vuitton billboard with Wemby in San Antonio, just Louis Vuitton, period. Can you talk about the impact that he has maybe had on the city and at 20 years old?
Hey, Jeff, what's Louis Vuitton?
I know, right? Yeah. Oh, Louis Vuitton. Yeah. I'm sorry. I buy Louis Vuitton, in the bootleg area.
Don't they make cowboy boots now?
Yeah,
hey, Jeff,
yeah.
The what the value of Wemby brings obviously elevates Spurs to another. I mean, obviously we've been known as an international team with the players that we brought in, and then Wemby just falls right in line with the culture of the Spurs. Bring in good people. Look how mature and responsible Wemby is. He's a blessing to this community. He works the community. He makes himself available. He's got such a sense of humility. It's priceless. I'm telling you, the Spurs are priceless, especially on their contributions. And I'm telling you, once the Spurs get back up to that championship level, and they will, they're going to have to put the pieces together, so to speak. There is no doubt that it will elevate San Antonio, Bexar County to another level. I want those, remember those parades on the interstate highway in the downtown? Yep. I want all those cars back honking, and we're going to have a great old time when they win their next championship.
Absolutely. He is Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai. He's right here joining us. Locked On Spurs, discussing all things silver and black, from the impact it's having on the community, the franchise, and its players, that is. and much, much more. And you want to make sure to follow him on social media. I believe that's your social media handler, Judge. It's Judge Peter Sakai on X. Now, Judge, the team is not having the best of season so far. Not one of the best, but they are in a rebuild. And I think, first of all, your thoughts on the rebuild so far. And I think fans got to keep that in mind that, hey, you know what? Sometimes things are not built overnight.
Well, I'm an old jock, Jeff. I didn't play basketball. I played football down in South Texas. I played a lot of pickup.
You were pretty big, dude.
Well,
big dude
I set a mean screen on the basketball court. How about that?
Yeah.
And what I want the community to understand is, look, we're in a rebuild. We're going to get a high draft pick again. And the Spurs are very strategic. Coach Pop, R.C. Buford, the GM over there, they have a plan, and we just need to keep faith. We know they know what they're doing. They found Tony Parker as a 19-year-old kid out of France who's now in the Hall of Fame. Manu Ginobili, who was playing down in South America. Tim Duncan, who came off the Virgin Islands. Yep. I mean, look, the Spurs know what they're doing. Have faith. What I'm excited, I've been to a couple games watching them, and I'm telling you, Wemby is just a beast. He is a beast. He is going to be a superstar. He's even showing it now. And I think Coach Pop had a strategic plan. When they first started, I was even like, whoa, the Spurs don't look too good. But you're seeing them being competitive, putting some winning streaks together, although it's not big winning streaks. You can see they've improved in that. And in sports, that's all you can expect. Every day, it's pounding the rock, Jeff Garcia. It's pounding the rock. It's getting every day to a higher level, and the Spurs are truly pounding the rock. Let's be patient, and good things are going to happen.
Yeah, a little bird told me that you're the only man in San Antonio that actually can hold Wemby to just 5 points a game. Your skills must be incredible, Judge.
Yeah, but what happens is I'll foul out in probably 1 minute or less in order to accomplish that. So, I'll take credit, Jeff, but it just tells you how fantastically talented Wemby. He does things I haven't seen anybody else do. Yeah. I might have tried it out on the pickup games, but I'm telling you, Wemby's a beast.
Yeah, that he is. I'm fortunate to meet him on draft night. The Spurs selected him. And let me tell you, when he was running through that gauntlet of media, and then when he finally came to the local media, I never craned my neck up so high. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is incredible. And I'm there standing up, maybe eye level at his shoulder, like his elbow. I'm like, this is crazy.
Jeff, I was looking at his navel. So, hey, I'm looking at you. I think you're stretching that.
Yeah. It's a tall tail. Yeah. I'm keeping it in the line of tallness here, Jeff. Wemby, tall tail. Here, but no, he is incredible. And then all the other guys too. Keldon Johnson still being that Mustang that he is. You got Trey Jones, who I think is one of the more unheralded players, but deserves a lot of credit for what he does to steady the ship. To Malachi Branham playing a lot better now. To Sohan being that feisty guy on the court, Judge. Yeah, this team, although the record doesn't reflect it, but in time they will get there, will they?
You got to remember, most of these kids that you just mentioned are teenagers, or they just left being they're in my mind, they're still babies. I mean, golly, give them a break. They're going to gel. They're going to take it to the next level. Pop's got a plan, and I have all faith in Coach Pop.
Absolutely. Judge, we're going to have some fun with you right now. I'm sitting, we'll pretend now. I'm sitting on a stack of orders here that all are Spurs related. We're hoping that you will sign off on the orders, Judge. We're hoping you will grant the order. So let me go ahead and give you the first order, Judge.
Hold on. So you're asking me to put Judge Sakai hat. I would put my judicial robe.
Okay. Well, how about to put your silver and black robe on? How's that? All right.
Let's get through some rulings here.
All right, Judge. May I approach the bench?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Judge. First order I have here is, can it be ordered that Wemby will likely be the Rookie of the Year this season?
Oh, that's granted and so ordered. Bring me an order, Mr. Garcia.
Awesome. All right, Judge, we have the next order put on your desk here. Popovich go down as the greatest head coach of basketball.
Granted, bring me an order, Mr. Garcia. That's a no-brainer.
All right. But in another order, Judge, Wemby will lead the Spurs back to the top of the mountain in due time.
Why do you ask a stupid question like that, Mr. Garcia?
Oh, my God. I'm getting the judge treatment now.
Mr. Garcia, you remember you're in the court. That's obviously undisputed. There is no doubt whatsoever that Wemby will lead the Spurs to another championship.
All right.
Bring me another order.
Yeah, all right. See, this is where I wish when I was practicing law, I had these kind of orders. That'd be more fun than what I went through a few times. I used to practice at the immigration court down on Dolorosa.
Oh no, Mr. Garcia, do not bring that. I have not. No. I did family law, and you know about those cases.
Oh yes, I do. All right, the next order, Judge, we have up on the table here, the Spurs. Well, shall it be ordered that they have the best fans in the entire NBA?
Oh, there's no doubt. That's granted, and that's undisputed. So ordered.
All right. Judge, I appreciate you taking time right here on Locked On Spurs. Can you tell us anything? What else is going on? Community events, how fans and just residents of San Antonio can get involved in helping the community and so much more?
Well, as I noted earlier, the Spurs give so much back to the community. I will tell you, Jeff, and I'm sure you're well aware, it sounds like you grew up in the south side of
I did, yep.
San Antonio. We have a lot of children and families that are still in need. They're living on the margins. You know, they're 1 month being evicted. They get laid off from their jobs. What we can never forget as elected officials, public servants, is that we need to take care of the children and families of our community. That's the fabric. That's the foundation. We got to make sure that our educational system is up to par. We got to make sure that our justice system is fair and just and doesn't discriminate. We got to make sure that we support our county employees, the people that work at the courts, people that work in law enforcement. And we got to come together as a community. And Jeff, I'm probably touching a hot rail. You know, we're living in some tough times. This election, it was brutal, you know, to watch TV and see those political ads. You know, sometimes it makes it difficult for people to come together. And so my final message is, let's work together. Let's not lose faith. Let's, you know, obviously in my world, you know, God, family, and country are still very, very important to me. And I hope our community will kind of tune out some of the negativity or the toxicity, the harshness of our political debates, and just remember, let's come together and let's support children and families. Volunteer, devote your time, talent, and treasure to make a difference in our world. And Jeff, thank you for what you do. Thank you for allowing me to come on your podcast and delivering this final message to the community.
Anytime, Judge, you know, the Locked On Spurs door is open for you. Anytime you want to talk all things Spurs, anything you want to get off, you know, get about a community message to all the residents, it is an open door policy. So you're welcome to come anytime. By the way, Judge, I did inadvertently forget one order, though. I'm sorry, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge. May I approach
Mr. Garcia, what did you forget to do, Mr. Garcia?
Well, there's this order here. It says Jeff Garcia is the best Spurs podcast host in San Antonio.
Oh, hey, Mr.
Oh,
Garcia,
no.
I'm gonna take that under advisement.
No.
Would you please brief it for me and submit your arguments and the case law to support that statement? And I'm confident that I will do an appropriate ruling. But right now, there's a lot of other fans out there, Mr. Garcia, that I need to consider too, like my wife, my staff. So just understand, Mr. Garcia, that's probably the toughest question. That's the toughest ruling you have posed to me. But I have no doubt that you are in the running for final consideration. So Jeff Garcia, you're number one in my book, but bring your arguments to me and I'll get you a ruling.
Yeah, all right. I'm probably going to ask for like about a dozen extensions. So just a heads up, Jeff.
Hey, that's the way the justice system works, okay?
Oh, I know. I remember those days practicing passing the bar and getting in that seat. But anyway, Judge, yes, again, appreciate you so much for hopping on Locked On Spurs. Again, everybody, make sure to follow Judge on X you see it on your screen, Judge Peter Sakai. Do that right now. Hey, head on over to the Texas Institute of Culture. Go check out Mr. Sakai's family. They're featured. Judge Sakai's family is featured there. Go check out his path, his family's path, all the way leading up to right here in San Antonio. But for
hey, Jeff, go Spurs and hook 'em horns, baby.
That's right. Go Spurs, go and hook 'em horns. All right. So
That's right.
Judge Peter Sakai, I am Jeff Garcia. We're gonna put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.